By now you probably heard I'm building a decanter in bond, and I'm actually sipping on the very first pour that's going into the bottle. Join me as I tell you what that pour is. So, Jonesers, welcome. It's now time to add the first pour to the decanter in bond. A lot of people have asked me, well, what's an infinity bottle? What are you looking to get out of it? And what do you mean decanter in bond? Well, just to kind of fill in a little bit of that backstory, an infinity bottle at its core is just a hodgepodge of spirits poured in a single container. Usually the creator gets to kind of decide what they want to put in, what flavors they're trying to get from it. A lot of people will just choose like the last pour in a bottle and pour it in one of the fancier bottles that they would choose or they like. Well, we have an awesome partnership with Prestige Decanters. This is the Cullinan, and it's just an amazing decanter. And I haven't put anything in it all of this time because I'm like, it's got to be the right thing. It's got to be perfect. And then as I was just kind of researching and hearing more about it, so I said, so what? I'm building me an infinity bottle. So it can hold well over the 12 or 13 bottles that I'm planning to add, only adding 2 ounces, maybe a little bit more for tasting. So we'll have plenty of space in this thing once it's all said and done. And as it continues to grow, we'll be able to, take an ounce or 2 out, taste it, review it, and then, add back to it. I'm actually going to try, and at the end of this process, I haven't decided how I'm going to choose the Joneses, so stay cued in. But I'm going to send out some samples that maybe you can taste, or maybe use to start your own infinity bottle. Choice is up to you, so I'd like feedback to let me know how you plan to use it, but we'll see how it goes. As everybody knows, I'm not particularly a high-proof bourbon whiskey lover, so I lean more towards, somewhere between 40, which actually there's not a lot of 40-proof bourbons, between 40 and maybe tapping out at around 100. And I felt like, well, hey, if I take some of my favorites that are at that 100 mark, and blend them all together, because I might like a little more sweetness. I'm not heavy on the spice side, but a good marriage in between. I can find a drink that I like. So I decided to go bottle and bonds. What's bottle and bond, you might ask? Well, here's the cliff notes. It must be an American whiskey. It must be distilled in a single season. It must be bottled at 100 proof. And it must be aged for 4 years in a U.S. federally bonded warehouse. And the whole big deal around that federal bonding and the whole Bottle and Bond Act was to ensure the quality of the whiskey. So a lot of times people seek out bottle and bonds as a more quality product. Well, in the past, people would seek out bottle and bonds because it was automatically a more quality product because of these regulations that it had to go to have that bottle and bond stamp. So before we make the pour, a good sip. Man, it's got a sweetness from the corn, a little bit of spice from the rye, just a good mouthfeel. It coats the mouth. It's 100 proof, so there's definitely some heat in there. But really, one of the reasons why I love this particular pour is that heat just kind of lingers around. It's not overpowering. It just kind of floats neck, chest, top of chest area. Just that warm hug that says, hey, I know it's been tough. Or, hey, I know you're ready to party. And it's just one of the ones that, I even enjoy sipping this one neat. It's great on the rocks, which once you find out what it is, some people might not like that. Well, of course, my whiskey lovers don't always agree. But I'm still a fan of drink it how you like. Anyway, look at the color on that thing. Woo. Yeah. Time for me to let you know what it is and get a couple ounces in the bottle. Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor, or E.H. Taylor for short, was an innovator. He did copper fermentation tanks, he improved sour mash techniques, and created a steam heating system that is still used in warehouses today. Taylor is known for driving bottle and bond legislation in 1897. Little known fact, he was also the mayor of Frankfurt for, I think it was about 16 years. So I couldn't have a bottled in bond decanter without starting with the father of bottled in bond, Colonel E.H. Taylor. And what I'm adding is the small batch, one of my favorites. I enjoy it. You can check out the episode where we kind of compare it to Blanton's a lot. A lot of similarities in there. Some people feel differently, and more than welcome to do so. But side by side, I mean, I taste a lot of similarities in the two. Well, as you probably can guess, I had to pour me a little more and pour a little bit more into the decanter, but there's nothing wrong with pouring a little bit out for those that weren't able to join us on this road to building a decanter in bond. Now you know why I chose good old Colonel E.H. Taylor, because he's considered in many rights the father of bottle and bond, and also the father of the decanter in bond. So what better place to start than with him? Also, happy Father's Day to all the Joneses out there. I hope you kind of have enjoyed my antics, and you will continue to journey with me as we fill my decanter in bond. And as always, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clink 'em and drink 'em, and we'll see you next pour.